What is the purpose of an acknowledgement in the notarization process? To help us answer this question, let's have a look at the definitions and general terms section of the Notary Public License Law booklet under the term acknowledgement, and it states that an acknowledgement is a formal declaration before a duly authorized officer by a person who has executed an instrument that such execution is his act and deed. And I also want to deepen our understanding of acknowledgements. This is taken from a section in the Notary Public License Law booklet that's talking about the distinction between acknowledgements and affidavits, but it underscores the purpose of acknowledgement by stating, in the case of an acknowledgement, the notary public certifies as to the identity and execution of a document. And just to quote from one last section under the Notary Public License Law booklet, section 182.3, entitled Requirements for Notaries, it states here that under subsection B, a notary may refuse to perform a notarial act if the notary public is not satisfied that, subsection 1, the principal is competent or has the capacity to execute a record, and or 2, the principal's signature is knowingly and voluntarily made. I also want to have a quick look at the definition of certified copy from the definitions and general terms section of the Notary Public License Law booklet, in which it makes it clear that a notary public has no authority to issue certified copies. And finally, the definition of apostille from that same section, which states Department of State authentication attached to a notarized and county certified document for possible international use. So with all this in mind, let's have a look at our four choices to determine the solution. Choice A states to confirm that the signer voluntarily signed the document and acknowledged its execution in the presence of the notary. Now, based on what we read from before, that the acknowledgement is where the notary public is indeed confirming that the signer signed the document in front of them, as well as section 182.3, which talks about the idea that the person must be signing knowingly and voluntarily. Therefore, choice A seems to be the correct solution, but before we mark it as such, let's have a look at the other three choices just to be certain. Choice B states to guarantee the document's authenticity for use in international legal matters. This speaks to apostille, which I read from before, and not acknowledgements, and therefore choice B is not the correct solution. Choice C states to certify that the notary has physically stored the document for safekeeping. Storing documents is a function beyond the notary public's role, and therefore choice C is not the correct solution. And finally, choice D states to verify that the notary has issued a certified copy of the document to the signer. Well, we know this can't be it because a notary public cannot issue certified copies, as I read earlier in the definition of certified copy, and therefore choice D as well is not our solution, which indeed leaves choice A, to confirm that the signer voluntarily signed the document and acknowledged its execution in the presence of the notary, as the correct solution.